Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus, the Refuas Shalom ben Gila, and V'lo Moshe Chaim ben Yafa Shena Chamka, and Shoshana bas Tzipora Peril, and Shirel Sigalit bas Tzipora Chagit, and Eliezer Moshe HaKohen ben Charna Mariam. We're going to be learning Siyata Dishmaya, a little bit of Siddur, based on the Ma'amari Parad Yitzchak and Maimer Tzadi Zayin. We say every day in davening, Aval anachnu amcha b'nei v'risecha, b'nei Avram ohavcha, zetra zeri Yitzchak yichido, adas Yaakov b'ncha b'chorecha, sheme'ahavascha shehavta oso, u'misimchascha shesamachta bo, karasa es shemo Yisrael, v'shurun. But we are your nation, the sons of your covenant, the sons of Avram, loved you. Yitzchak, his only son, Yaakov, your Ben Abchor, that from the love that you loved him, and from the happiness that you were happy with him, you called his name Yisrael and Yeshurun. So we understand that the changing of the name is a reflection of love, because Yisrael is a noun that denotes victory, rulership. Ki sarisa im Elokim v'im anashim vatuchal. You wrestled with angels and with men, and you were victorious. Whereas Yaakov denotes vayakveni ze pa'amayim. You held me back twice. What Esav complained to Yaakov. First you took my bracha, now you took my bechora. So that is a show of love. When it was changed to Yisrael, that's a higher level. That's srara, that's kisarisa, that's that you battled, that's that you were victorious, and that's better than Yaakov. But the name Yeshurun is not a shem etzem, it's not a noun, it's just a kinui. It's not his real name, it's just it's like a nickname. So what's the simcha shesamachta bo, misimchascha shesamachta bo? You called his name Yisrael, that I get, but Yeshurun. What's the great simcha of calling Yaakov Yeshurun? Hashem also had other kinuyim. Avram Avinu's kinui is Eitan Hezrachi. The Tehillim Peites Aleph, Chazal tells us it's a reference to Avram Avinu. Doesn't say there Hashem was so happy. So what's this great simcha of calling Yaakov Yeshurun? So first we have to learn the word of the Ramban, who explains the word Akev in two ways. One, Akev can be sof, it could be the end, just like Rosh is the beginning, because the Rosh is the highest part of the body of man. So to Akev is the end, because it's acharis v'sof b'mivnei gufa adam. The soul, the akev, is the bottom of the body of man, in the structure of the body of man. Akev can also mean chalaf, like the Ramban writes, lashon sibuv, nigzar min v'haya ekov l'mishor, haderech ha'mu'ukal holech saviv saviv, v'haya sibas shemachem ha'mishpatim, al da'ati kol ha'shan akuva gilgul v'sibuv, v'yakveni ze pa'amayim, l'chein yikarei Yaakov Yeshurun, ki hafach Yaakov l'mishor. So it could be a lashon of going round and round, like v'haya Yaakov, what is bumpy, what goes round, is now going to be straight. The derech that's mu'ukol, the crooked path, that goes round and round, is now straight. So the Ramban says, Lashon Akuva is Gilgul v'Sivuv, going round and round. Yaakov wasn't straight with Esav. Esav claims twice, V'akveni zeh pa'amayim. And therefore Yaakov is called Yeshurun, because he made what was crooked, what went round and round, to something straight. Ad kan divrei haramban. So we are going to explain b'siyata d'shmaya the words of the Ramban that the darga of Yaakov is the darga of Yeshurun. It says in the pasuk in Tehillim Lamed Dalet Gimel, "V'Hashem titalel nafshi, yishma'u anavim v'yismachu." With Hashem, my soul will glorify. The humble will hear and be glad. The idea of simchas anavim can be explained based on the rule that every midah is misbarer mihipucha. Every midah can be clarified and understood based on the opposite. Like it says in Agos Maimoniach at the end of Perek Beis, that if a person gives a lot of money to tzedakah, gives $1 million to tzedakah, and then the next day he spends it in the casino, he lost his great schus, because shoteh zeh darko b'kach. That's just the way this guy is. This guy is just loose with his money. So he spends it on tzedakah, he spends it on the casino. For him, that's just the way, that's his relationship with money. So he doesn't have such a great schus in giving the tzedakah anymore. So it has to be misbar, the midah has to be misbar mehipucha. What happens in a different situation? In other words, you have to know that in a midah tova is ru'uya lishma only, it's only considered a proper midah when it's done in the right place and not done in the wrong place. Like we find with the midah of rachmanas, kol hamerachem al ha'achzarim, sofo lehit achzer al ha-rachmanim. Anybody who's merciful on the cruel, in the end will be cruel to the merciful. And so too in al midas, in all midos, we see this, that if it's not done properly, then it gets twisted. So if a person has mercy on cruel people, so it's a twisted midah, so it's going to end up being twisted again, and then he's going to be cruel to merciful people. So you always have to see what's going to happen in the opposite situation, how the person acts. If a person is merachim malach zarim, then he's misachas achranim. If a person's, you have to see if a person's tzedakah is a good tzedakah, he gives it in one situation, he gives it to tzedakah, but if he also spends it in the casino, it shows that his tzedakah is not a real, not coming from a place of wanting to give for the right reasons. That's just the way he deals with money. So since the bearer of a midah is al yidei hipucha, and that's why the opposite, what's the opposite? The opposite of proper rachmanis is anachazarim. So when if a person doesn't have the proper rachmanis anachazarim, you see that it's not proper, because in the end he's going to have achazaris, he's going to have cruelty on rachmanim. So that's the hipuch of the midah, and that's what really shows you, first he's merciful to everybody, and then he ends up just being merciful to the cruel, and then it's going to get twisted around to being cruel and the merciful. So since that's the case, that you're mevara midah al yidei hipucha, so the Baalei Anava were very bothered how they could be mevara their midah. Where's their hechitimtzi to be mishtamesh hefech midas hanav? In other words, they only want to use the midah of anava in the right place. So when is not the right place to use the midah of anava, that they can show that the midah is coming from the right, it's in the right way, it's the proper midah. So the answer is in the pasuk, B'Hashem tishal nafshi shmo anavim v'yismachu. Here there's a place in Avodas Hashem to be misnaik b'agbas halev u'b'gaiva b'kedusha. Like it says, Vayigba libo b'darkei Hashem, a pasuk in Divrei Hayamim Beis Yud Zayin Vav. He lifted his heart in the path of Hashem. So when Anavim find a place to be Mishtamish b'midah hafchis, they're happy that they found a bearer for their midah. In other words, by being glorifying in the service of Hashem and having gaiva, so to speak, gaiva de kedusha, in serving Hashem, they are showing, they are revealing that their anava is the proper anava. It's not just that this is their midah and they're going to use it no matter what the situation, even when not appropriate, but they have a bearer to show that it's really for the right, it's really being done in the right way and for the right reasons. Because when anava is not called for, they still have anava. In this pasuk, this Hallel is a lashon of Hagbaz Halev. Like in the pasuk of Bezos, Yishalel, Hamishalel, Haskel, V'yadov, to glorify, to feel great about yourself. So that's this midah of Anava, the bearer of the midah Anava is the Gaiva. So this is also how we can understand the Ribui Maisim Ha'akuvim. We find these sort of crooked ways with Yaakov Avinu, with Esav V'Yaakveni Zeh Pa'amayim, with Lavan Hotzi Akudim Nekudim Uvrudim, that he kiviyachol swindled Lavan with the sheep. If you learn that parsha and you learn it well with the Mefarshim and you understand what's going on. So it seems that he was dishonest. And Dafka, because Yaakov's midah was the midah of Emes, we find seemingly dishonest actions. Suvaisen, to show that when it's necessary, you have to be a Ramai. This is what you got to do. You have to be Makayim Imikesh Titapol, Tit Patol, Pasuk in Tehillim, Perek Yitches Pasuk Chof Zayin. That with the crooked, you got to go crooked. Or like it says in Rashi and Bereshis Chof Tes Yud Beis, Ochi Vani Baramos. And that's really the biggest sod in life. You want to find out what a person's really about, see if you can use the Midah Hafchis, like Avram Avinu with the Akedah. Now I know that you fear God. Until now your midah was Ava. But it's not enough to have. You have to know when to have Yira. Avram was a man of love. Can he shecht his son? Can he be willing to shecht his son? So a person is tested when he has to use the opposite midah, and that's the bearer of his midah. So now Yaakov, by being Ochiv Ani Baramos, by being Mekayim Imikesh Titpatol, he is mevarer his midah. And there's no stira between Vashtet and Pusik, Bereshis Chofei Chof Zayin, Yaakov Ishtam, that Rashi says, She'eno Charif L'Ramos B'nei Adam, to what it says, Ochi Vani Baramos, that Yaakov said about himself. Because Dafka, the possibility to be Ochiv Shalom Ramos, he could do it. Sure, he could do it. He knows how to, he can be just as sneaky as anybody else. More sneaky. He could just be like Lavan, he can be sneaky. And yet, he's still the most honest person, because whenever necessary, he's honest. When the situation calls for it, when the situation calls for otherwise, he knows how to be otherwise. Because he's not just a servant of his midos and of his nature. He does whatever is necessary in every given situation, whatever Hashem wants. So that was Mevara, this Ochiv Shalavim Baramos. This Mevara clarifies the Tmimus of Yaakov Avinu, the honesty of Yaakov Avinu. We don't find by Avram and Yitzchak that their Asek, their Hanhaga, was being mevarer mida achas mitoch hipucha, unless there was a specific tzivui. When there was a tzivui, they did it. But without a tzivui, they didn't. And that's the Akedah was a tzivui. Without Inyan Zeh, the Rambam writes, and Yaakov Avinu, Shu Afach Yaakov, let me show. In other words, he's mevarer his yashrus by being crooked at times, and then in the end being straight. And therefore, by Yaakov Avinu, the name Yeshurun is not stam a kinun, it's not stam a nickname, but rather it's a mivchan be'etzem midaso shel Yaakov. It's testing his midas, mid of emes. In other words, he knew Yaakov had to be crooked in order to show that his emes was be'emes emes. And it wasn't just that he didn't know otherwise, he couldn't do otherwise. Okay, so this is one ofen behez b'divrei Rambam. Siyata d'shmaya, Kadosh Baruch Hu should give us the koach and the moach. In the next shir, we will see another ofen behezber midasa shel Yaakov, Hashem Yeshurun, and the simcha of Yeshurun, and everything's going to come together. B'siyata d'shmaya, mishpisocha lilmod u'lamid lishma v'las l'kaim is called divrei samu tarasav yahava. Amen v'amen. Shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.